What's up, everybody? Joey. We got Ben back there, if you've seen Kaiju Cookie. And this is our producer, Clay. But this weekend, every August, along US 42, there is the world's longest yard sale. And tons of people just set up along that road with booths and a bunch of garbage for you to sift through. And you can find some good stuff. Okay. Yeah. I know you're out here looking for Bionicle.
Bionicle, Jurassic Park.
Yep.
Well, it depends on Legos, but maybe Legos too.
Yeah, Legos is always like iffy, because like... Yeah.
It's usually just like bags of bricks.
Yeah, it's like buckets of bricks and stuff, yeah. One time I found the second Millennium Falcon they did, the Empire Strikes Back version. Mm-hmm. I found that complete in box. But I have no idea where it is in my parents' house now. But yeah, so it's been a bit of a dry spell for toys in the store, and that's my area of expertise, so I've taken it upon myself to... You know, we're going on the offense here. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna go try and find some toys, anything Star Wars. To scrounge up some toy stock.
Gonna get the mud and grime.
Yeah, it's raining. It's gonna be nasty.
Yeah.
We're in my mama's car with the Eeyore. We got all-wheel drive. But yeah, so see you out there. This is gonna suck. This was rougher earlier, but you know. What do you think, Ben?
Oh shoot, did not go on my head.
Everyone's pretty tarped up.
It do be wet though.
Legos. It's all Robo Riders and Throwbots. So, close to Bionicle, but not quite. Rugrat stuff.
Yeah, each set's $10, and that's one set, and this is one set.
Okay. First purchase complete. We got a blue umbrella. Checking out some Legos here. Pokemon cards, a bunch of Squishmallows. Head in here. So this was the first real video game booth we came across. Some interesting stuff, a Switch, a PS4, mostly just shovelware games, some Xbox One, PS4 games. All kind of getting wet here. All of it had sort of the current going price on it. The guy knew what he was doing. Nothing worth haggling over to get for the store, so I'd rather just leave it so some lucky kid can come by and have a real good day finding something cool, so we moved on from here.
I was told advice from my dad. Not like actually I will.
Whew. Bunch of VHS tapes. There's some Intellivision games. Ninja Turtles, Muppet Babies. Basket, I loved that as a kid. Think the duck will give us luck?
Yeah, probably. Why get a squeeze?
Here, give it a squeeze.
Shout out to Children Corp, one of the most mediocre like movies of all time.
Man, these are all getting drenched. Check these out. Bunch of 12-inch Joes. Yeah, man. Yeah, those are all like the 90s Joes. It's a Beetle. Kill it. It's a Spock plate.
It's a Hasbro Jurassic World figures where a Carnotaur has raptor claws. Like that makes sense.
Bunch of plushies. Oh, it's Squirt.
I've been playing too much Valorant because now I know what a curved knife is.
I think this is definitely like a gold.
Yeah, how much do you think that's worth in CSGO?
Probably like $20,000.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Finish him. I would say it reminds me of the binoculars from Obi-Wan. It's like, oh, look at that.
All right, first stop down.
What did we find?
Junk mostly.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we found rain, but
yeah, there's a lot of water in my shoes. Only thing we bought was an umbrella, because that was kind of necessary, because the umbrella I brought broke. There was some interesting stuff, some Legos, some toys, but all of it was either priced super expensive or...
So many rusty tools.
Yeah.
all the tetanus from one that sickle, not gonna lie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most of the Legos that we saw, like, that were complete in box, they were like priced retail, and they were all new Star Wars stuff. There's nothing too enticing, so down 42 we go to the next stop. We found solid gold. That is a whole ass sword.
Sokka, when I first met you, you were lost.
That is pretty sick.
That is pretty sick. Why space sword?
G.I. Joe Commando Attack game. This is something I really would have liked to grab for the store, but it was soaked, and $40, not much of a profit margin there, so yeah, we moved on. It's pretty soaked. Oh,
Oh wait, shit,
this
that's
is
the
so
wrong one.
sad.
Dog rings.
More gear?
More gear.
I don't know if that's picking up. Yeah, there it is.
Multiple angles.
God. Yeah, it's just like so humid and steamy out here. It's so cold. It just the condensation's sublimating.
Yes. Welcome to Kentucky.
Stop 2, bought some stuff. Ben got a license plate for his grandpa to build a birdhouse. Clay got a little pewter wizard. Some more interesting stuff, some more toys, movies, and stuff, but still mostly people asking, you know, it's either garbage or it's top dollar, and or more likely than not, it's garbage with top dollar on it.
Or garbage with water damage too.
Yeah. So much of everything is soaked right now, and it's really unfortunate.
Things are starting to fill with water.
Yeah. Next up should be the big farm patch, which is where we've had luck in the past, so cross your fingers for some Bionicle. Oh.
The king on the loose, nothing you could do.
One step closer. McDonald's Bionicle. There's a bunch of stuff. Buzz Lightyear. This guy was nice enough to have his stuff mostly organized. He had these bins laying out with all different kinds of toys, so we spent quite a while here looking through everything. Whole bucket of Skylanders. Skylanders might not be what they used to, but they sell pretty well for us. We've got a lot of kids and families that just enjoy the game and come in and buy a bunch from our bucket of $2.99, so this caught my eye here. I'm not seeing anything too... This booth probably had the most video games out of every booth we saw, but a lot of them were a little wet. They were under a tent, but they were still getting wet. We sat here for a little while going through these games, but there really wasn't anything too interesting. There was some decent stuff, some you know, common selling games people want to play, but nothing really worth picking up for the store or anything, so we moved on.
My World's End soundtrack.
Primal Rage with no arm. Didn't grab any footage of it, but I ended up buying this figure as well as the other Chaos that is in the background there. I believe these are both Chaos. The one that I'm holding currently is some variant. The one in the background had no hair, but you know, it's cool to see these things. You don't see them too often. Always cool to have the intersection of vintage toys and video games. So I picked them up both, $4 each. I could probably sell them for about $8 or $9, but it's always cool to see these things, so I didn't want to pass them up. These Wizard of Oz Barbies are really cool. My sister had this full set as a kid, but their boxes were all pretty beat up and wet. I wasn't really sure what they were going for, so Barbies have never really sold too well for us, so just kept looking. We went back to that guy who had all those buckets and the Skylanders. We went through some more and found some Crash Test dummies and this Yu-Gi-Oh figure, I forget its name. Put that back.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
Oh no. I'm over here in my freaking dreams.
So we picked up those 2 Crash dummies. Those were the later 2003 Mattel ones, but those are worth about 12 bucks a piece. We got them both for $2, and we also got that Yu-Gi-Oh figure for $2, and probably put about 10 on them. So it's cool to see these things. Yu-Gi-Oh is always something I love getting stuff for the store in, and Crash Test Dummies is actually a toy line we get asked about a lot. It isn't really one you'd think we would, but a lot of people have fond memories of their childhood of these toys, so it's pretty cool to get a couple of these in. We'll see how they do. So on top of getting those Crash Dummies and Yu-Gi-Oh figure from this guy, we ended up buying that whole bucket of Skylanders. There's probably, you know, like 60, 70 of them in there. A lot of them were probably just going to go into the $2.99 bucket, but we got it for $45. And after having our resident Skylanders expert go through it, there was a few in there that were, you know, $10, $12. Made our money back on those. And all the other ones are just fodder for the $2.99 bucket. So we are stocked on Skylanders now. So there were some big old buckets of Legos here. This LEGO Dimensions pack is pretty cool because this Peter Venkman has exclusive arm printing. The only way you can get it is from this Dimensions pack or the big Firehouse set. There's a bunch of other, you know, some random Hero Factory stuff, not quite Bionicle, and some big bags of just random bricks. There was one big bucket with a ton of crap in it, including either the Milano or the Benatar, whichever ship that was from Guardians of the Galaxy. It would have taken a ton of time and hours to go through all of this and try and piece together the sets that were there. There were some that were worth something, but it wasn't a good business decision to invest in this big bucket and spend so much time putting everything together. Best to just let a kid who loves Legos find this and buy this whole big bucket and expand his collection. Alright, that was third stop. Most successful stop we've had so far. The Skylanders Disney Infinity stuff is pretty neat. Bunch of McDonald's Bionicle in a few different places. But, yeah, we also got some a couple Primal Rage figures. A couple of the Primal Rage Gorillas. This one doesn't have his hair, but he's, I mean, in decent shape. This one has his hair, but is missing an arm. It's just neat to see, you know, these Primal Rage figures, just because, like, they're such a cool toy line, and, like, Primal Rage is one of my favorite, like, arcade fighters. And
they make him vomit and pee.
Well, this Crash Test Dummies.
Though.
Alright, so off we go. No way! It's Boss. He doesn't have his backpack.
It's my son, Big Boss.
We got some Bionicle Pete's. There's a Baraki mask and a Nika sword and like a hodgepodge with some Hero Factory stuff. So let's dig through this book a little more.
Kloski, analysis.
Yeah, this guy had a pretty crusty looking Xbox 360 and a bunch of just random accessories. A lot of them were in rough shape. I really wasn't even going to bother with much controllers, but we did actually find a Guitar Hero Wii guitar controller. Sold it to us for $8. And we figured it was worth taking the gamble on those. Everybody's always looking for Guitar Hero guitars, and those have spiked insanely in price, so glad we could get one. And since testing it, it worked, so that's pretty awesome.
Where's the horsey?
Yeah, that was our one of our last stops there. Not much in that spot, mostly pots and piles of junk.
So much mud.
But I found Boss from Public Commando and Galactic Heroes. I loved Galactic Heroes as a kid, and Public Commando is my favorite Star Wars game. So I was pretty hyped to find this. I haven't found it before. No backpack, but like $2. Guitar Hero controller for the Wii, $8.
We'll see if this
It's not
works.
bad. Yeah, hope it works.
Yeah, maybe.
I guess also one other thing that we did find, but a PC copy of Doom 3, but it was water damaged to hell. It was really sad to see it there. I was like, oh my gosh, it's Doom 3, but then I looked at the cover.
Big box?
Yeah, big box.
PC stuff's hard in the store because you never know if, you know, it has the activation code or not. Yeah, probably head back to Nostalgic to see if there's any other places we want to stop by on the way back. So, yeah. Yeah, so after this we just headed back to Nostalgic. Didn't really see any other booth setup that were really interesting, but out of everything we picked up, we got 2 crash test dummies at $2 a piece. Probably sell those for about 10 or 12. We've got the Yu-Gi-Oh figure we got for $2, sell that for 10. We got the Guitar Hero controller for $8, and with its condition it'll probably be about 50. And we got that big lot of Skylanders for 45. Really no telling how much we'll make off of that. They'll sit in that bucket for so long. It's always good to get some to fill out that bucket. There's always people digging through that bucket here at Nostalgic. So, and then the last thing were those 2 Primal Rage figures that we got for $4 a piece. Probably be able to sell those for $8 to $10 individually. So with those Skylanders, 4 or 5 of them were worth between $10 and $15, so that pretty much covers what we spent on them. And out of the rest of the 60 or so that were in there, those all went into the $2.99 bucket, and those were all pure profit. So considering all those sell, we'd make $165 off of the Skylanders only, and we'd get $74 from the rest of everything else. So that leads us with a grand total of $239 profit for this trip. Now, of course, that isn't considering hours spent, manpower, blah blah blah, how long it sits on the shelf. But it's really interesting to just see visualized, because in doing this, we felt like it was kind of a dud, but in reality, we made a pretty penny off of it. So yeah, nothing too crazy, but we had tons of fun. If you had fun watching this, enjoyed this kind of content, let us know in the comments. We'd love to do some more informal content like this and sort of vlogging, toy, and video game hunting. And go ahead and check out our Redbubble store down in the description. That is finally set up. We got tons of cool art, shirts, stickers, posters, and that is the best way to directly support this channel. So thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you next time.